Welcome back. You know, they say in a game, if you can't beat them, join them. But sometimes that's not an option. Sometimes the only option you have is get them out of the game. To use a more conk word, eliminate them. You know, I don't know about you, but you be the judge. The supremacy battles between the Senate and the National Assembly have been mutating by the day. What started as a quarrel over which house is superior, followed by the standoff over the division of the revenue bill, has escalated into a total war to disband the Senate. Now, this seems to be a well-planned strategy by the National Assembly to kill two birds with one stone: competition and the wage bill. I want to understand all this supremacy wars, and of course we're asking to disband or not to disband, and we're honored this morning to have Honorable Beatrice Elachi, nominated senator. Welcome to the Power Breakfast Show. And of course Honorable Irungu Kang'ata-Kiharu, Member of Parliament, the one who tabled a motion to disband the Senate. Welcome to the Power Breakfast Show.
Thank
you. Of course, Mountegi Njau. Let's of course start from you, because Honorable Kang'ata, because you're the one who actually pushed that motion. Tell us more about that, about this disbandment or disbanding of the Senate.
Strictly speaking, as we speak, we do not have a motion before the House for the disbandment of Senate, as we speak. You know, for one to draft up a motion, in fact, you cannot disband Senate through a motion. You have to prepare what we call a bill, which will crystallize into a law. Number two, this one entails a referendum. So therefore, it's a very, very long process. As we speak, as of today, you know, we have what we call Political Parties Act, which behoves MPs to follow the party whips. Presently, the position of TNA is that we should hold that matter in abeyance. So therefore, that matter per se has not been brought before the floor of the House. But then again, the new dimension has been brought by the fact that originally it was an intention of MPs allied to Jubilee, myself included, to have Senate done away with. But we have seen now Jacob Dio, who belongs to CORD, supporting the idea. So therefore, it is like a bipartisan approach. It is like consensus has grown that there is no need for two houses.
Why? Why is that so? Why do you not find it is provided for in the Constitution, and the people who wrote the Constitution knew exactly what they are doing? It's part of devolution. Why do you find it's not necessary to have the Senate?
The problem is four reasons. One, it does not have enough mandate to engage it. It handles laws concerning strictly counties, whereas National Assembly handles all kinds of laws. Number two, we have seen that it doesn't have sufficient quorum, more often than not. It is a house of about 67 members, I suppose. But when you look consistently, we see about 10 members or even 5 attending Senate day in, day out. Number three, we have to look at the expectation of voters. In Kenyan politics, voters want to see leaders giving them bursary. They want voters giving them roads. They want to see maendeleo, development, strictly speaking. In Western Hemisphere, politicians tend to be legislators. That is, you just make laws. But in Kenya, that is not the expectation. They want to see real things. Senators cannot give that. They have no bursaries. They have no money like a CDF to provide development. But here in Kenya, because of the level of development, they want to see leaders doing physical things. So as a result, you see a disconnect between role of the Senate and the expectation of one.
All right, perhaps we could take it from your side, Honorable Elachi.
Yes. I think Mutegi and Mwakazi, one, the National Assembly should appreciate that we are in a new dispensation. Two, as much as they have CDF, which indeed is dishonest, because if we go that route, all money should be now either in the counties doing work with the governor, who is an implementer in where we have constituencies and what we call counties. So therefore, to use the card of CDF and tell Kenyans, your tax that I pay tax to give to my mheshimiwa to bring development to me will be very wrong. Very wrong. Because now that means that's the only card they have. If we remove CDF from National Assembly, what else can you tell Kenyans? Therefore, you go back to the Constitution and you say, we have a new Constitution where we are legislatures, where we must ensure we have laws that guide us on what we're doing. And I believe that is what Kenyans really wanted to see MPs doing, all MPs. When you look at Chapter 8 of the Constitution, I mean, it gives us very clearly, Parliament. What is Parliament? It says Parliament is both National Assembly and the Senate. It goes down in 93 or 94, then it gives you the principle of what Parliament should do. And I believe that is what Jubilee we believe in. What does? By having a bicameral house, what do we need to do? The issue of how we disband, and I appreciate what Kang'ata has said, that now it's not within the Jubilee, it's a CORD issue, where for me I'll tell CORD, you have looked at all round a platform to come back and play politics, then you see this is the only carrot you can dangle and play politics with. That is very wrong.
There's something that he raised as well about quorum, that sometimes even about 10 people.
Now, for quorum, it will be very sad for Kang'ata to say that when in the National Assembly, where we have 300+ members, in the morning they don't have quorum. They will even end up pushing their bills to vote the next day because you didn't have quorum. Yet, in the Senate, our quorum is 15. What I don't, and we need to be honest, and he's a lawyer, that the Constitution again tells us very clear. In the National Assembly, you must have a quorum of 50. In the Senate, you must have a quorum of 15 to start business. And the worst is we have never asked ourselves how grey it is because people vote bills. In the Senate, you can't vote. You must have the quorum of 24+ and above because they vote per counties. But in the National Assembly, you find 6 people, that's the whole house of a committee, going through a bill, and then it comes to, look at your media bill. How many people passed it? Did we have a quorum of 50? If somebody goes to court and question that, what happens? So those are some of the things we need to say. We have a new Constitution also that is very grey. Very grey. It has many loopholes. The lawyers must sit down and start interpreting some of these things. That when Kenyans said we have a quorum of 50, did we mean 50 must be also in voting? And if so, how many bills have passed through the National Assembly without that quorum? Can we question those bills? It's a very, very critical issue. So we cannot come and say today, and I know you talk about the wage bill, and I agree, but then the Senate takes 0.002% of that wage bill, not more than $1 billion. So when we talk of a wage bill again, it's not the issue of only the politicians. It is an issue now beyond all of us. And as Kenyans, we need to sit and ask ourselves, where are we wasting our money, our revenue? It's not just on wage bills. Look at how we waste papers, Makazi. That is a lot of money. And people fight at the government printing press to do this business because of just getting the money. But we don't look at the wastage. How when you go now to a ministry, a full pile of papers full in one room. Money Kenyans have given who are walking with slippers and, I mean, and that's why I thought even when Kang'ata, the new ones coming in Parliament, they will change this whole concept. But I realize, I don't know now, I want to say National Assembly, I don't know, the snakes and all those things that were said, do they come into somebody's head? Because even you wonder, and my friend, the speaker, who is a very good friend and a very reasonable person, when he enters the house, it's like something just changes the mind and it works very differently.
Perhaps you could respond to
first and foremost, it is a lie.
What is a lie?
What is a lie?
There is no single bill that has ever been passed by the National Assembly without quorum. And I challenge her to bring even a single bill. It is impossible. It is wrong. There is no single bill, even one. No, please, let us talk on facts. Kindly.
Are we sure you guys have passed your bills?
There is no single bill, not one, not even one, that has
She mentioned the media bill.
It was passed by 60 members. It is there on record. We have what we call Hansard. Hansard is available on the website of the National Assembly.
Yes.
So therefore, we do not have an instance where there was any law that ever passed without quorum.
The argument
In
is...
any event,
The argument is not how it has passed. The argument was the issue of quorum.
Yes,
Kang'ata.
in
Quorum.
fact,
And
the
you
point
say,
is...
and that's why I say...
Yes, and but the point is I'm challenging her to bring one bill that has ever passed without a quorum. It is impossible. The Speaker cannot even call a vote. It is there in the Constitution. You cannot even conduct business insofar as voting is concerned without a quorum. That is something that has never happened ever.
Perhaps you could respond
Yes,
to that.
and
about
number
quorum.
two. Number two.
No, he brought in the issue of quorum, Mwakazi, and I want to tell
Let us just
Kang'ata very
respond to that
clearly
quorum
that
issue.
one, Kenyans can indeed know that the Senate, you can never vote without a quorum because you need 24 counties to get that bill in. And therefore, in the National Assembly, it's so easy because you're the ayes, the noes have it. I mean, it's just an open vote. It's not a vote where you stand and say, I vote yes.
No, no,
In
no,
the
no.
Senate, you vote yes.
Yeah.
You have to, and in fact, yesterday, again, the Speaker ruled that there is no way from now onwards. You must follow the standing orders. You cannot vote when you are seated. You have to vote, stand and vote. That's what the standing orders say. I did not say, I asked Kang'ata, how sure are you that Kenyans can be sure when you talk about quorum? Because you raised the issue
Yes.
of quorum,
Yeah,
that your bills have passed with a quorum beyond 50.
Yes.
So how
Yes.
can Kenyans be
Let
sure?
me
How can
explain to
Kenyans
you.
be sure?
You can debate without quorum, but then again, a member has the right to stop that debate on the basis of quorum. So practically, it is possible to debate something without quorum. But when it comes to voting, what happens? The clerks, you can see in the National Assembly, we have the Speaker. In front of him, we have about 3 or 2 clerks. Before you conduct actual voting, they do accounting, they do head counting.
What is actual voting?
So actual
The
voting...
eyes have it. The
Before,
names,
exactly, before you do that, before you do that,
If nobody has raised the issue of quorum, it will go on.
No.
Oh, yeah.
A clerk,
No.
I've reported Parliament for years. A clerk will not raise the issue of quorum
When a member has not raised.
when a member has not raised.
No. It
Oh,
has
yes.
changed. Exactly. To me, that is an argument based on ignorance. It has changed. What happens? Before you call a vote, we have what we call putting to question a certain matter.
Yes.
Before now, the Speaker puts something on question presently. The clerks has to satisfy the Speaker that we have quorum. So no wonder what happens. In fact, it was even reported in the newspaper. The debate tends to be delayed by the Speaker or even by the clerks. So they delay that debate to ensure now members can troop in. So therefore, what happened in that matter? Members trooped in before voting took place, then voting took place. So therefore, by practice these days, you cannot, strictly speaking, call out, put something on question without ascertaining there is quorum. And how do you know there is quorum? There are 2 ways. Number one, National Assembly is now full of cameras. It is, we are now, so therefore you can easily tell how many members are there when you are calling out a vote. That's number 2. We do also have a register. Every time you enter the house, you have to register physically. So therefore, when you do the cameras and also you check on the register, you can know how many members are there as by the time you're doing the voting.
While
Yes,
I agree with Kang'ata that indeed the clerk should verify, I don't agree on the register because even as we have, and people walk out.
Yeah. You come and register?
They register and they just walk out. But I agree indeed, knowing their Speaker, yes, he will, especially because somebody can go to court, and that is why he brought in quorum. I told him, as Jubilee, they have to be very careful because they are the watchdogs of the president there. We cannot pass bills without a quorum. They have to make sure always we have beyond 50 so that if anyone goes to court one day, then Jubilee is safe at that point. Coming to the next issue, which is very interesting, is how we fight about the supremacy battle. And for me, Mwakazi, today I want to tell Kenyans, in the Senate, I don't think we have to go that route. That we have to stand on platforms, abusing each other, saying everything because of a supremacy, which Kenyans are wondering. We gave you a constitution. We gave each person a role. And in each section, number 1, they have to ensure they take care of the constituencies and the special interest in National Assembly. The other house must ensure you take care of the counties